I started my seeds a new way. Instead of using rock wool, I used double layer of paper towels on the bottom and a double layer of paper towels on the top. And as you can see, my seeds are germinating. I have all kinds of seeds in here, and I'm going to plant them today. That's my beans. And I also use heating pads. I got one heating pad there, and I have another heating pad there. And here for my lettuces, I use tiny pieces of rock wool and just dropped a couple seeds on each one to see how it goes. I'm not crazy about the rock wool because it seems to get fungus gnats. So I'm going with ceramic beads, but I like the rock wool because it holds moisture for starting seeds. What I'm going to do is take a piece of rock wool for these seeds. Even though I want to switch to clay pellets, I want to start this in rock wool, which I'll probably remove in a little bit. So these are all rooted. They're growing. What I'll do is I'll just punch a bigger hole in the rock hole, and I'll just set that seed with the root down in it so the seed can grow up. And I'm just going to set this in my flower pot. And I will repeat that process until all the seeds are planted. What I'm going to do is put a whole roll of beans right here. And I'll show you the growth as they grow. I'm actually tearing that open, and I'm just setting the bean right inside the seed, right inside the rock wool there, and making sure it's getting nice and wet. That one has a nice root on it, as you can see. I'll try and take the casing off and make it. Oh, I killed that one. Tearing the rock wall open, placing the seed in there, and wrapping it up. I want you to see this. I want you to see this. I'm taking my rock wall and I'm opening it up completely, and I'm dropping the seed with the root facing down. And I'm just sandwiching it so the top's sticking up, and I'm dropping it in my garden. Once again, break the rock wool completely open. Break it completely open. Make sure that the root is facing down, and just simply plant your item. As you can see, this has a beautiful root. I'm actually putting that completely through the rock wool so that the root comes out the bottom, and I'm just dropping it in the flower pots. You see, what I did was plant a few seeds on a tiny piece of rock wool just to get it started, and then I pull the seeds apart. I plant each plant individually. They come apart very easily, just so you can see that. For the lettuce, I take one lettuce and I put it down deep so it doesn't have a long stem. See, I put that root way down in there, and I just leave the top sticking out. And very easily, just drop it in a flower pot and it is planted. I've taken all the seeds out that have started to germinate so far. I got them in the system, and the seeds that haven't germinated, I'll put them back on the heating pads, covered them in dark so that they can start to generate. But basically, this is day one of this side being replanted. In a couple of weeks, it'll be filled with food again. I do have my first plants in my new tower. This tower is going to be used for the larger plants, such as squash, zucchini, and other larger growing plants that need a 3-inch pot. As you can see, all the seeds are not germinated yet. I picked out all the ones that have germinated. These will go back upstairs with a little bit more water on the heating pad and cover it up for a couple more days. As you can see, I have a heating pad on the bottom. And now I'm just going to set my tray right on top of that. And I take my lid and I put it over top like this. So I just cover them up, as you can see. Now I take my other heating pad, I got 2 of them. Seeds won't germinate if they're not warm enough. So it's very important that you get the seeds warm. So that's why I'm using heating pads. Now I take my other tray on top of this. And I'll cover this with lids. And I'll leave these seeds sit for another day. And then whatever germinates, I'll plant those.